At least the main event was good. It's your boy Big Over Chris back at you with your WrestleMania Night 2 review. If you are new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. If at any point during WrestleMania you said, "What the hell is this?" go ahead and leave me a thumbs up. Go ahead and ring that notification bell, let you know when I post new content. Ah, man. So, in my night 1 WrestleMania review, I compared it to Christmas. You know, that Christmas where you know Christmas is coming and you're not really expecting much. And then it turns out to be a great Christmas. You get the presents you wanted, some presents you didn't even expect to get. You just had an overall great time. Night 2 was the opposite of that, besides the main event. Everything else seemed really underwhelming. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was just kind of flat, you know. It was like, okay, I expected a lot more from this. And of course, you got started with the opening match, which was Randy Orton versus The Fiend. And I gotta say this, the Fiend's entrance was cool. Like, it started off with him walking like through this tunnel, transforming from the Crispy Fiend to original Fiend. And then you had Alexa come out, and then there's this Jack in the Box sitting in front of the ring. And of course, he turns the thing, and the Fiend comes out, and it's like, yo. His entrance was really cool. It was dope, but we saw the return of the red light during the match. That silhouette challenge red light. I don't know if they're about to start wrestling or start taking their clothes off. I don't know what was about to happen. But as far as the match itself, it was alright. It was kind of confusing towards the end because you had Alexa come back through the Jack in the Box. And she looked totally different. She had the black goo coming down her face, and the Fiend was kind of just looking at her. And then Randy Orton hit an RKO, and that was it. That was the match. And you could even hear some of the crowd booing. I don't know if because they were just disappointed or just mad or upset or just confused, but you did hear a lot of boos during the match or during the end of the match. The match itself was alright, but that ending though, like, I don't know what they had going on or what they planned or what this was supposed to be, but that wasn't it. It was disappointing. But and then following that, you had the women's tag team title match, and I will say this: there was one point during the match where the crowd did show Tamina a lot of love. Like, you heard a Tamina chant, and I'm like, okay, that. I don't know why that made me happy, but it did. As for the match itself, Nia Jax and Shayna are still the tag team champions. The match was okay. It was fine. It wasn't nothing really to write home about. It was alright for what it was. It wasn't nothing spectacular, but yeah, still tag team champions. Another kind of underwhelming match, and that was kind of the theme throughout the show for me. It felt really bland, flat. But this match though, this match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, this is kind of where things started picking up. This was, to me, the second best match of the night. And it was just Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn doing Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn things, you know. We kind of saw that old school Sami Zayn where he's just throwing exploder suplexes and just hitting Harufa kicks and Michinoku drivers and blue thunder bombs, even though Michael Cole was messing up the names of the moves. The match itself was fine. Kevin Owens went over, he won. And after the match, you saw, also Logan Paul. I do gotta mention this. So during the match, during Sami Zayn's entrance, he makes his way out and he gets a huge pop. And then Logan Paul comes out and the crowd just boos him out the building. And I was like, ha, 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 ha. Ah, that's funny. And then you just heard Logan Paul just getting booed throughout the match. Even after the match, he was getting booed. Like I said, Kevin Owens won, and then Logan Paul went to go shake his hand, and Sami Zayn was like, "Bro, what are you doing? Like, you're my guest. Well, why are you shaking his hand? You must be in a conspiracy." And then you see just Sami Zayn just walk out the ring and just like, "Man, screw you, Logan Paul." And then Logan Paul like, "Yeah, go Kevin Owens." He's like, "Yeah, Kevin Owens, you're the best. I love you, Kevin Owens." And he tried to shake his hand, and then Kevin Owens hits him with a stunner, and the crowd just goes crazy. everyone loses their mind because I'm assuming nobody likes Logan Paul. Yeah. The match itself was fine, and then Logan Paul got a stunner, so that's pretty cool. Next, we had the United States Championship match. And before the match happened, you saw Riddle in the back. He was talking to the great Kaale. And then RVD popped up. And my dude pitched. He pitched his RVD rolling papers. And I'm like, hold up. I'm led to believe that this is a PG kids show. And you have RVD pitching rolling papers. And I'm like, okay, so, hey man, whatever. It's not my show, whatever. Cool. As for the match itself, we have a new United States champion, Sheamus. The match itself was okay. It was cool. For what it was, it wasn't all that long, but it was a fine match. Sheamus hit Riddle with his mean ass bro kick. Like I don't know what Riddle was going for. I think it was going for like a moonsault or floating bro or something. And Sheamus just caught him right in the face and just busted him open. New United States champion. After that, we have the Nigerian drum battle or Nigerian drum fight, which is just a fancy way of saying street fight with Nigerian drums between Apollo Crews and Big E. And during Big E's entrance, you had Raleigh perform his entrance theme, playing to the ring, and then you had Apollo Crews make his way to the ring. And this match felt really short. Like, it felt like it should have had more time. Like, it should have been a little bit longer, but for what it was fine. Excuse me, it was fine for what it was. I felt like they could have done a whole lot more with this match. I mean, it's a Nigerian drum battle. Nobody played any drums. They just had drums around the ring as decoration. You had table spots, you had candlestick spots, but nobody played the drums. Like, nobody took out any bongos or took out any drumsticks and played the drums. There was no Nick Cannon drum line. We have a new Intercontinental Champion, Apollo Crews, and Dabba Kato made his return. And even in my my WrestleMania predictions video, I predicted Dabba Kato will come back, but it will be coming back to help Shane McMahon. I didn't think that he would come back for Apollo Crews, and I guess this makes sense. Like, I'm guessing that I think they did say that Dabba Kato is of, I think, South African descent. I think, I'm not 100% sure. If you guys know, let me know in the comment section. But I'm thinking that he is some kind of African descent. Yeah, it was fine, but another kind of sort of underwhelming match. I'm fine with the outcome because I did predict that Apollo Crews was gonna win, but it still felt like they could have done more. That more could have been done with that match, but yeah, it's alright, I guess. Next, we had the women's championship match between Rhea Ripley and Asuka. And this match, to me was the third best match on the card. You had Shotzi Blackheart perform. It's not Shotzi Blackheart. She looked like Shotzi Blackheart to me. I forgot what they said this girl's name was, but she looks like Shotzi Blackheart, so therefore I will call her Shotzi Blackheart. So Shotzi Blackheart performed Rhea Ripley's theme song, played her down to the ring. Asuka came out, and these two had a really good match. And we have a new women's champion. And I didn't even think about this until I saw it on Twitter, but we have the final two participants in the Women's Royal Rumble. They're now the Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion, and that's pretty cool. So we have a new Raw Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley won. And throughout the night, we had a different segment with Hulk Hogan. He had him and Titus open up the show. They were dressing like pirates, and then they were backstage. Bayley was kind of to me the bright spot of one of the bright spots at night too. Like, she would just come out here and there, and she was just the most entertaining part to me. Bayley, and then I think it was right before the main event, you had what was it, Titus and Hulk Hogan. They were talking, and then you had Bayley come back out again, and then only for her to be interrupted by the Bella Twins, and then they could just attack her and just slide her down the ramp. So that was pretty entertaining. But that leads us to the main event, the triple threat. This was the only thing I would, besides the Apollo and Biggie match, this was the thing that I was looking the most forward to, and it delivered to me. Edge made his entrance, and I was so just blown away. And it's not like I haven't seen Edge make an entrance, but it's Edge making his entrance at WrestleMania in front of a live crowd, and you could just tell the emotion. You could just tell that he was just really emotional making his entrance, and the crowd was really into it. They were just going crazy for Edge. Daniel Bryan made his entrance, and then the big dog, the tribal chief, head of the table, Big Goose, made his entrance, and he made the crowd wait. And the thing that I was most anticipating was Edge's entrance and Roman Reigns' entrance, because I figured, okay, maybe he'll have a new theme, but he didn't, which was cool, because even though you had people saying, oh, it's time for Roman Reigns to have a new theme, I feel like with his character now, his theme fits him now more than it ever did. So you had Roman make his entrance, and he's getting booed, and I don't know why, but I had this big sigh of relief, because I'm like, okay, cool, like people were still booing Roman Reigns, because I had a feeling that with Roman's new character, his new character change, him turning heel, and him just being this awesome badass heel, people were gonna cheer for him, and they booed him, and it was kind of cool. So the match itself was just bananas. Like, you had all these different spots. You had Jay super kicking everybody, and he got taken out early. He had table spots, you had spear spots. There was a double spear, like Edge and Roman ran each other, and they were trying to go for the spear at the same time. Concertos, power bombs, submission. There was this one spot where okay, so Edge is trying to bring the chair into the ring, and Roman stops him. Like, he steps on the chair and snatches it away, and as Roman snatches the chair away, Edge pulls a piece of the chair out. So then they're going at it, and Edge locks him into a crippling crossface, and he uses that piece of the chair as part of the submission. So you have this chair piece in Roman Reigns' mouth, and you just look at Roman's face, and it's just it was just pure comedy. And then you had Daniel Bryan slip in. He locks on the label lock as Edge has the crippling crossface locked in, and Edge is like, let go, and Daniel Bryan, no, you let go. So they're headbutting each other, and it was just crazy. Roman Reigns is still the Universal Champion due to main event Jey Uso came back in. He made his presence known again. You had Edge hit Daniel Bryan with a concerto, and then Jey Uso makes his return. He starts beating up Edge. And then you have Roman hit Edge with a concerto, and then he stacks Edge on top of Daniel Bryan. He covers them both. 1, 2, 3. New Universal Champion. New. He's still the Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. And like I said, this was the best match of the night to me. I'm not even mad that Roman Reigns is still the champion. I mean, why would I be? Because he's the tribal chief. He's the head of the table. We love Roman Reigns. We were all afraid of Roman Reigns. He's scary. My family fears him. But it would have been cool to see Edge win, and I do feel like he is going to be Universal Champion, maybe at WrestleMania Backlash or whatever. But the night belonged to Roman Reigns. They had the best match of the night. Other than that, everything else on the show was just okay to really underwhelming, like I said before. Night 1 was a way better show. I don't know if they're going to continue with the 2-night event. I kind of hope that they do, because going forward, I wouldn't mind seeing the Women's Royal Rumble winner main event one night, and then you had the Men's Royal Rumble main event the other night. So, yeah. Other than that, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Those are my thoughts on WrestleMania, and if you want to my WrestleMania Night 1 review, you can go check that out. What did you guys think about the show? Did you feel as underwhelmed as I did? Were you happy with the show? Were you sad? Were you thinking, oh man, this show sucks? What did you think about the triple threat? Do you think the right people went over? Are you excited with the winners? What are your thoughts on The Fiend and the Randy Orton match? What are your thoughts on Logan Paul? What are your thoughts on WrestleMania? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun jazz, man. Yeah, that's it. That's WrestleMania. What a week it's been. Yeah. Till we meet again. Peace.